Hello, this is me, Judgy Jane Sad, and I thought I'd do a fairly quick video. Try and keep it fairly short. I'm going to do just an animation, just a basic one. So we're going to start off with a blank thing, and I tend to go for something close to 720. Okay, so that's basically that. Not a how-to. And let's bring up the where's the bloody thing gone here? What's the thing gone? There it is. It does this thing where it messes me about sometimes. I'm going, where's the thing gone? This is the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a... Let's go into... Where are we? This is funny. Pick that one. Right, say that's your background, right? After messing about. We want it to be... Tell me how long it is until I've done it. We insert frame and it basically gives you a background that remains for as long as you've given it with the frames we put in there. Now if you want to put, I have to rename it, so let's call it just background. That'll do. And then you have to add, I'll do another two, so let's do another one. Let's put Lara in here. Let's call this to avoid getting mixed up. Lara. Okay, so let's say we wanted to put Lara into this scene. What I do is I have to open up. See, this thing, I have to put thumbnails, and then I gotta go do this every time I do it. We've got various Laras with legs and all kinds. Let's do the this one. I've done it wrong. What I would normally do is, if you didn't want her legs, what you can do is with the lasso tool you can... I'm getting this wrong. I want that one, don't I? No. It does this. It's a really... No, I don't like this system at all. No. See, I'm getting this wrong. What the hell? I didn't want her upper body anyway. I don't know. That's it. This is... I don't like this system that they've used. It's not particularly good. Well, I normally have a thing where I have Lara's legs already missing in the first place. Copy, takes forever. Paste in center. And then we'll have to redo that symbol thing again, because it's really, really annoying. Okay. Make sure it's graphic, not a thing. There's a whole other bunch of stuff on there. And then I've done it again, haven't I? Modify, transform, scale. I have to keep telling it I want scale for most of this stuff. And so you've got Lara there, right? And then what you have to do is, if you want to put arms and legs on her, because you have to animate them, you have to add them. We have to go inside of Lara's symbol. Now we're inside of this now. We're no longer outside of it. And what you do is, this is Lara's body. We'll give her that. And we had a... You got to name everything. So we've got like Lara. My keyboard's not working right on this thing. And then we go do. So let's say you wanted to put in stupid zoom thing. Right, you want to put, say, an arm on her, right? So I've got to go back into that thing. Where is that? What's this? I don't know what I'm looking at. Here we are. You want to do her arms. What you got to do is, you've got to mess about doing zoom. So you want this arm, yeah? You basically, what I do is I do this, right? I could just do that. I copy it. And then I put it here. So I select this here. I want this to be the layer where the arm is, right? I paste it in center. There it is, and it's all pathetic and tiny. We save it to a symbol, and we'll call it arm. I think it's left upper. And you got to do this every single thing you add, and it's there, right? And it's too small. And I go transform, scale. It's too small, and we want to put it there. It's too small. If you were doing the traditional method with the onion skins, you just draw one and then draw another thing on top of it. I don't work like that. It's in front of Lara. Let's just rename that left upper and put it behind Lara because it's behind a boob there. And now I'm just going to put that's the pivot point. So if you want to move it on this axis, you put that at the top. Say you want the bottom part of the arm, you go back, and I do this, and I do it again. We copy it. There's probably another way of doing this, but this is the way that I've learned how to do it. Make sure that you're on the right one, it'll put it in the wrong one otherwise. And then you go paste in center. There it is again. Goes through the same process again. Save it to symbol. Left arm lower. And then what you do is it's too small. Modify. Go to transform. Scale. Make it bigger. So there's Lara's arm, right? And what you do is for the leg, you do the same. You put the leg. I've not done that very well. You put the leg on. I don't bother bending the knees. It's really simple the way I do it. I just plonk the left and the right, and I do the same thing again. Make sure that that's. Sometimes it's a thing where you put the thing there, and then you go to move it, and every time you do a new keyframe, it puts that thing in the middle, and then when you go and move it, it whizzes about in the middle rather than at the top. I don't know why. So we're gonna have to rename that. Left arm lower. And then what you do then is, say you want to animate these, right? So we've got that one, it shows me which one it is. I go with the top one because the bottom follows the top. There it is. So I'll just lock them off so I don't move them. And then we'll zoom in. So this here, right? You want to move that. You go free transform. There's our pivot point. You want it to go this way, so it's like when you move your arms, you swing your arms. So I'm going to move, it's this one, right? I'm going to move that one. Actually, what I'll do is, I tend to put a gap about there, about 3 or 4 frames, insert keyframe, and move it like that. Right, so we're going from that to that, yeah? Put another one in. And sometimes this can move, I don't know why, maybe I was doing something wrong before. So we're getting that to that. And you just put another one in there. And do another one. So we're going like that. Keeping them roughly about, you can vary slightly, but if you do too small a gap or too big a gap, you can end up basically having, it looks like jerky. And it gets very complicated. I just do one thing at a time, like that. Insert keyframe. It's very easy to get mixed up on it because of that, basically. Say you want it to come back, you do a gap, and then you do another keyframe, and then you move it back again to where it was, and then another. So we're going like that. And it goes back in again. So keyframe. So you're nearly back to where you started. And I learned that actually once you start getting to a lot of repetitive movements, you don't want to keep redoing everything again and again and again because it gets very, 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 very annoying after about maybe 2 hours you're standing here doing this thing that just drives you on a bend. And I get very frustrated at this. Bit more, another one there. Right. So say you want to do, what you don't want to do is have to do that all over again manually. So what you do is, or what I'll do is, I copy that, have a gap, paste it in there. So what you've got is it does it again. Okay. So the bottom part of the arm, I've locked that out, I don't know, where is it? It's that one. Lock that so we don't move it. And we've got the pivot point there, so let's go to that first frame there. It does that. So I want this one on this keyframe lined up with the bottom one. Where is it? What I do is I move it to where that is. And say I want that arm to move a little bit. We've got this whizzy little round arrow like that. So you get this going on. And then it moves again, and see where you got this here and the bottom there. Insert keyframe. Move it a bit more. If I do it wrong, it can sometimes look a bit jerky, so we go. Okay. Insert keyframe. And we want to keep... I've done that wrong, have I? Can always undo. Level, there it is. See how it just moves in a fairly smooth, regular movement like that. And another one there. I'll just go into autopilot when I do this. I just go a bit more again. If you do a big movement, it moves very quickly over a small period of time. It's a bit jerky, but it's not too bad. We get to there, and of course it's going back in now. This is so. Insert a keyframe. Let's get it so it covers it, and then bring it sort of a little bit more in again. And it's the same process as what I did before. I'm just repeating everything. Oops. So when we come back to do a number of frames, we don't have to keep reproducing manually, because it gets incredibly annoying and very boring as well. Not quite that much. About there. Oops. Was that me moving that? Got to keep a track on everything. If you bungle it and you don't notice, you got to go back and change it. A bit of a gap on there, isn't there? A bit more. So I've slightly bungled that there, so it's easy just to go back to where you were happy with. So you go there. Insert keyframe. Just move it across a little bit. Got to try and keep register with it, otherwise you end up really messing it up. It's literally just that's all there is to it. There's not a huge amount to it. You just got to keep track on it. And then bring it a bit more. And it should be somewhere near where it ended. So what we do then is... Same thing again. Copy frames. Align it with that. Again, the more complicated you're doing, the more time it'll take. What I tend to do is I do this in little blocks, so I won't do that and that, because if I do that, the whole thing there, if I highlighted all of that and then copied that, it can cause an error. Or a frame gets inserted or something, so I try and keep it very simple. And basically, if you want to do that, you just basically... I would do this again. That, and I do it, paste that there, so you'll get this. It's added that there. Hang on a minute. You have to do it on there, not the square in front of it, or it puts another keyframe. Which is probably where I'm going wrong on this, actually. Yeah, you have to do it like that. Okay. And what you get is you get a reproduction of that movement. So go back out again. So what we end up with is we play that back. We get something that looks like this. And that's how I do the arm. And basically you put the other arm on, same thing. You just do the opposite arm and then animate that in relation to this one. Blinks, you put the eyes on, which I could show that in my next video actually. So I'll stop here and I'll be back in the next part.